All right, guys, I just wanted to share a brutal interview that Jesse Waters had with a guy I'm just now learning of. His name is Mike Nellis. He was a senior campaign advisor for Kamala Harris, and he's a founder of White Dudes for Harris. So I've seen him a few times. I was actually looking for his most recent interview that he did with Charlie Hurt, but I ended up finding this one, and this one's gold too. It's with Jesse. He does an interview with Jesse Waters, and he just absolutely destroys Jesse Waters. You guys got to see this.
Founder of White Dudes for Harris, Mike Nellis, is here. All right, Mike, 12 days, no murders in Washington. Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, I think it is a good thing that there's been 12 days with no murders. You mentioned it being a record, though. This is not the longest streak this year that they haven't had any murders. It's been 16. I think the challenge here is that Donald Trump is playing a lot of theater in order to ultimately distract from what he doesn't want to talk about, which is the economy. But at the end of the day, what he's doing and what I find to be offensive is he's using Jesse.
Distraction. He talked about the economy for 3 hours at a cabinet meeting today. How's this a distraction? He was elected, one of the reasons, to fight crime, and he's doing it.
Jesse, he's boasting about record tariff intake that the government is taking, but he's not talking about inflation anymore because everything's more expensive. And as I've reminded you on your own program before, Fox's own polling shows Donald Trump is as unpopular on inflation as Joe Biden was at the height of the inflation
So when
period.
he gets stimmy checks out to all these Democrats, they're just not going to cash them, right? They'll send him back in, we'll pay down the debt, and they'll refuse to cash them. Mike, I'm talking about crime. You say it's a distraction. Sure. I say it's one of the many things.
This interview was a few months ago. We still haven't gotten those checks yet. Newsflash, there's no checks, Jesse.
Been successful at the border, crime, getting companies to invest here in America. Why does it have to be a distraction? Why can't it just be, hey?
He's juggling a lot of balls, and look, I'll give some credit because the numbers are better, but the numbers are better because the military are on our streets. And if you look at the economic numbers in Washington, D.C., you can tell that people don't feel safe in D.C. Restaurant revenue dropped 40%. People don't feel safe to go out to a restaurant.
Mike, you're comparing restaurant revenue from Restaurant Week from a different week. That's been debunked.
No, I'm not, Jesse.
It's been
That's
debunked,
not true.
Mike. We debunked it on the 5. You should watch the 5. You learn a lot. But tell me this, should Chicago invite the guard in? They have a real problem with homicides.
No, look, I think Chicago needs to do a better job of dealing with crime. Our local leaders need to do a better job of dealing with crime. But the city of Chicago has had a chance to vote for Donald Trump 3 times, and he lost by 80% each of the 3 times that he was on the ballot. I think if Donald Trump wants to get involved heavily in issues somewhere else, he should go look at red states, because Donald Trump doesn't have any urgency to deal with Louisiana, which is the murder capital of the United States. He doesn't have.
That's exactly right, and that's the main point in all of Donald Trump deploying, guard to different cities. He's only deployed them to blue cities. He hasn't deployed them to any red states. That's how you know that it's just a political move. It's not about reducing crime. You can't even reduce crime with putting military in the streets. That's not what they do in Russia. That's not what we do in the United States. That's not how you reduce crime.
Anything to say about Oklahoma, which has the worst schools in the nation. Doesn't have anything to say about Arkansas,
Mike,
which has the highest teen pregnancy
those are crime-ridden too. And if the mayor
when's
wants
Donald Trump
to invite
do
Donald
something
Trump
about the
to
crime
go in
rate
there,
that's happening
why doesn't he go there?
Chicago's a little bigger than Baton Rouge, Mike. Okay, and you,
hold on, one more time. Let's listen to that one more time.
It's a little bigger than Baton Rouge, Mike. Okay, and you live in Chicago, and you should. Crime-ridden too, and if the mayor wants to invite Donald Trump to go in there and do it, Chicago's a little bigger than Baton Rouge, Mike, okay? And you live in Chicago, and you should care. Did you hear my friend out there in the monologue talking about her cousin, her uncle, her niece? They're all dead, Mike. Do you care about that at all? Your mayor doesn't care.
Jesse, you don't care. You don't give a shit, dude. Get out of here, man.
Your mayor doesn't want any backup. They're offering him more cops, more guard, and he says, no, more housing. What the hell's wrong with him?
Hey, listen, I care about the crime that happens in Chicago, but I also care about making sure that people feel safe. And I know that I'm not going to feel safe in my city if when I take my son to school, I have to drive by a tank. I know I'm not going to feel safe if when I take him to a ball game, I'm going to see armed military members.
Okay, does that scare you to see a tank,
Jesse,
Mike?
can I finish my point?
Does that scare you?
Jesse.
I'd be more scared of strays, but go ahead.
No, because I'm with support having more police on the streets of Chicago to help keep us safe. The problem is, in Donald Trump's budget that he signed by the Republicans, he cut community police funding by $2 billion, which means there'll be fewer police on the streets.
Mike, you guys defunded the police, so don't talk about cutting funding.
It's just true, and it's a good point, and that's just Jesse is one of those just MAGA retards. Like all he has the MAGA talking points. So here that community policing was lost money under this last bill. All Jesse could say is blue states defund the police, dude. Your president literally just took money away from policing. Like it's in the bill. Look it up.
Donald Trump is the one who defunded the police.
Everybody knows the Democrats defunded.
Did Donald Trump sign the Republican budget, Jesse?
All over the country, Mike. I don't have time to debate that. But I respect that you are from Chicago and you want to be safe and you don't want to see a tank when you see the White Sox lose, and that's okay. That's okay.
First of all, I'm a Cubs fan before I'm a White Sox fan.
Okay, good. Well, I knew I liked you. But all in agreement that Chicago needs to do a lot better. You and I will agree on that.
I think a lot of cities need to do better, Jesse, and I'm tired of Republicans blaming all the crime on Democratic states.
Well, most of them are run by Democrats. Most of them are run by Democrats, but we don't have to count it right now. Mike, good to talk to you. Thank you so much. Go Cubs.
Thanks, Jesse.
Click here to
Mike Nellis. Let's keep an eye on this guy. This guy is pretty good. Jesse Waters, he's worth keeping an eye on because he is just a misinformation, disinformation machine. He's just straight up lying most of the time, or he's a complete idiot, either one, or a complete ideologue and just totally in love with Donald Trump. All those things actually are probably the truth, and it's probably somewhere in the middle there. So I'll keep an eye on Mike Nellis for you. If he has any more, I'll make sure I'll bring him to you. Stay tuned, guys.